This area in Los Angeles is home to rap's first billionaire, Compton, California, a city famous around the world for its struggles, its resilience, and its culture. It was here, in the mid-1960s, that Andre Romelle Young was born. The world would come to know him as Dr. Dre, a man who transformed hip-hop from local sound into a global empire, a man who turned beats into billions. Born on February 18, 1965, Dre grew up during one of the most turbulent times in Los Angeles. Factories were closing, gangs were rising, violence was everywhere. For many kids, Compton wasn't a city of dreams. It was a dead end. But Dre was different. From the time he was a teenager, he was fascinated by sound. He would spend hours alone with records, listening not just to the music, but to the layers inside it. The drums, the bass, the samples, the timing. He started sneaking into clubs and roller rinks just to watch the DJs. He didn't want to party, he wanted to study. How did they move a crowd? How did they switch from one track to another without losing energy? He took notes, practiced obsessively, and started to build his own reputation behind the turntables. Soon, people in Los Angeles knew the name, Dr. Dre, the DJ who wasn't the loudest, but was always the sharpest. Every mix was clean, every beat was placed with precision. Music became Dre's escape from the streets around him. But it wasn't just escape, it was purpose. It was the spark of a destiny that would change music forever. By the late 1980s, Dre linked up with Ice Cube, Eazy-E, MC Ren, and DJ Yella. Together, they formed one of the most controversial groups in history, N.W.A. In 1988, they released Straight Outta Compton. And nothing in hip-hop was the same again. The album was raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest about life in South Central Los Angeles. Songs like Straight Outta Compton and Effing the Police shocked America. Politicians condemned them. The FBI sent warning letters. But fans? They couldn't get enough. For the first time, young people everywhere heard what it was really like growing up in the hood. And it was Dr. Dre's production that gave N.W.A. its sonic power. The booming drums, the sharp samples, the balance of chaos and precision. N.W.A. didn't just sell records. They forced America to confront uncomfortable truths. They turned hip-hop into a cultural weapon. But fame and money brought tension. Behind the scenes, contracts, money disputes, and egos caused rifts in the group. Eventually,
a lot of rumors going around about the group breaking up and everything. That's not happening. We're still a part of N.W.A. N.W.A. is still together. I just had to move aside for a minute and do my own thing, make a little bit of Dre's money, you know what I'm saying? Ren is doing his own solo thing.
Dre walked away. Leaving N.W.A. could have ended Dre's career. Instead, it sparked his greatest work. In 1992, Dre released his solo debut, The Chronic. It was more than an album, it was a revolution in sound. Fusing funk samples with deep bass lines, Dre created G-Funk, laid back, melodic, yet heavy enough to shake the streets. The Chronic introduced the world to a young rapper named Snoop Dogg, and together, Dre and Snoop dominated the airwaves. Tracks like Nothing But a G-Thang became instant classics. The album sold millions, won awards, and established Dre as the king of West Coast hip-hop. More importantly, it proved that Dre didn't need N.W.A. He could stand alone. And when he stood alone, he stood at the very top.
Winner is Anita Baker. Come on back out, girl. We need you. Dr. Dre!
What up, dog? Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody get on your feet and give it up for Dr. Dre. Everybody stand up and clap for my homeboy.
Yo, first off, I gotta thank my moms, you know. I guess all that noise in the bedroom, all that music paid off, you know. Gotta thank everybody at Death Row, everybody at Interscope Records, and everybody who loves the art form called hip-hop music. Later.
Fresh off The Chronic, Dre co-founded Death Row Records with Suge Knight. At its peak, Death Row was unstoppable. It signed Tupac Shakur, It launched Snoop Dogg into superstardom. It became the most feared, most successful, and most notorious label in the industry.
Any artists out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to... All in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
The East Coast don't love Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love us. Well, let it be known then. We know y'all East Coast. We know we at East Coast and I'm the executive producer that a comment was made about a little bit earlier. But check this out. Contrary to what other people may feel, I would like to say that I'm very proud of Dr. Dre, of Death Row, and Suge Knight for their accomplishments. And all this East and West that needs to stop.
Complications from several bullet wounds sustained Saturday night, September 7th. He was 25 years old. Shakur was shot 4 times after leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas in a car driven by Marion Suge Knight, the head of his label, Death Row Records. The shots were fired from a Cadillac that drove up alongside Knight's BMW, but police still have no leads on a suspect or motive. Tupac had been on a respirator in the hospital and had 1 lung removed.
But behind the platinum records and flashy success, there was darkness. Violence, intimidation. The same chaos that Dre had once escaped from in Compton began to follow him into the business world. By 1996, Dre made another bold choice. He walked away, leaving behind his masters, his money, and years of work. To outsiders, it looked insane. But to Dre, it was survival. He wanted freedom more than fortune, and he knew he could rebuild. That gamble gave birth to Aftermath Entertainment. At first, it struggled. Dre's early projects didn't connect, and critics whispered that his time had passed. But then came Eminem, a young rapper from Detroit who didn't look like the industry's idea of a superstar. But Dre saw something others didn't: talent, hunger, genius. In 1999, the Slim Shady LP exploded. It won Grammys, sold millions, and cemented Eminem as a global
Grammy
star.
goes to Mr. Controversy, Eminem. First of all, I want to thank everybody who could look past the controversy or whatever and see the album for what it was, and also for what it isn't. And hold on, I got this little list here because I can't let nobody down tonight. Hold on. I want to thank Paul Rosenberg, Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre, of course. Once again, thank you, sir. Once again, you got me up here.
Soon after came 50 Cent with Get Rich or Die Tryin'. Another cultural phenomenon, another global superstar. The album, which was co-produced by Eminem and Dr. Dre, sold over 13 million copies worldwide and is certified 9 times platinum.
What's up, yo? Go against chicken, your ass is I'm about to 50 cents, go to war,
And years later, Kendrick Lamar joined Aftermath. Once again, Dre shaped a generation. The rapper from Dre's hometown, Compton, went on to become a multi-million-dollar selling artist, and his album, Damn, went double platinum. To this day, Kendrick Lamar is still leading charts with his hit single, Not Like Us, going 6 times platinum. Eminem, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, 3 names that define hip-hop history, all guided by Dr. Dre. He wasn't just producing songs anymore. He was building dynasties. By the mid-2000s, Dre had already changed music forever. But he wasn't done. His next move wasn't in the studio. It was in business. In 2006, alongside Jimmy Iovine, Dre launched Beats by Dre. The concept was simple: headphones that looked as good as they sounded. Critics laughed. $300 for headphones? No way. But Dre wasn't selling headphones. He was selling culture, status, identity. Beats became the must-have accessory for athletes, celebrities, and fans around the world. From LeBron James, to Lady Gaga, to millions of everyday listeners, Beats weren't just about music. They were about belonging. In 2014, Apple saw the value. The company bought Beats for $3 billion. And overnight, Dr. Dre became hip-hop's first...
Hold on, man, hold on. It's not often do you get to listen to Beats with Mr. Beats himself. Oh! Wait, oh! That mix is crack. Oh, shit! Oh, I like what you're doing, man. That mix is crack. Oh, shit! Watts, Compton, what? Oh. A whole nother. Yeah, Gary. Hold on. The homie is drunk off a Heineken. The homie drunk off a Heineken. That nigga's inside. Another level. Billionaire Boys Club for real, homie. Huh? Fix your face. Fix your face. Know that. The Forbes list just changed. They need, it came out like 2 weeks ago. They need to update the Forbes list.
In a big way.
Oh my.
Understand that. Oh my. The first billionaire in hip hop, right here from the most. Believe it.
From Compton to Cupertino, from turntables to tech empires, it was the ultimate power move. Today, Dre's influence stretches across decades. From the groundbreaking sound of N.W.A, to the smooth G-funk of The Chronic, to the dynasties of Aftermath, to the billion-dollar empire of Beats. He is more than a producer, more than a rapper, more than a businessman. Dr. Dre is proof that hip-hop is bigger than music. It is business, it is culture, it is power. From vinyl to ventures, from beats to billions. Dr. Dre didn't just make history, he redefined what was possible. This has been Fortune and Beyond. If you enjoyed this story of hip-hop's first billionaire, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because more stories of wealth, power, and legacy are on the way.
Tell me what you like. Just say the word, baby, I'ma get you right.